Muhammad Ali Jinnah biography 1876 to 1948. Muslim statements. Muhammad Ali Jinnah led Pakistan independence from British-controlled India. He was its first Governor-General and President of its Constitutional Assembly. Who was Muhammad Ali Jinnah? Muhammad Ali Jinnah joined the Indian National Congress in 1906. 7 years later, he joined Indian Muslim League. The independent states of Pakistan that Jinnah had influenced came to be on 14 August 1947. The following day, he was sworn in as Pakistan's first Governor General. On September 11, 1948, he died near Karachi, Pakistan. Early life. Jinnah was born in a rented apartment on the second floor of Wazir Mason in Karachi, Pakistan, then part of India, on December 25, 1876. At the time of his born, Jinnah's official name was Muhammad Ali Jinnah Bhai. The eldest of his parents, 7 children, Jinnah was underweight and appeared feeble at the time of his birth. But Jinnah's mother's Mithibai was convinced her delicate infant would one day achieve great things. Jinnah's father, Jinnah Bhai Punja, was a merchant and exporter of cotton, wool, grain, and range of other goods. As a whole, the family belongs to the Khoja Muslim sect. When Jinnah was 6 years old, his father placed him in the Sindh Madrasatul Islam school. Jinnah was far from a model student. He was more interested in playing outside with his friends than focusing on his studies. As the proprietor of a thriving trade businessman, Jinnah's father emphasized the importance of studying mathematics, but ironically, arithmetic was among Jinnah's most hated subject. When Jinnah was nearly 11 years old, his only paternal aunt came to visit from Bombay, India. Jinnah and his aunt were very close. The aunt suggested that Jinnah return with her to Bombay. She believed the big city would provide him with a better education than Karachi could. Despite his brother's resistance, Jinnah accompanied his aunt back to Bombay, where she enrolled him in Gobal Das Taj Primary School. Despite the change of scenery, Jinnah continued to prove himself a restless and unruly student. Within just 6 months, he was sent back to Karachi. His mother insisted he attend Sindh Madrasa, but Jinnah was expelled for cutting classes to go horseback riding. Jinnah's parents then enrolled him in the Christian Missionary Society High School, hoping he would be better able to concentrate on his study there. As a teen, Jinnah developed an admiration for his further business colleague, Sir Frederick Legalcorp. When Corp offered Jinnah an internship in London, Jinnah jumped at the chance, but Jinnah's mother was not so eager for him to accept the offer. Fearful of being separated from her son, she pursued him to marry before leaving for his trip. Presumably, she believed his marriage would ensure his eventual return. At his mother arguing, the 15-year-old Jinnah entered into an arranged marriage with his 14-year-old bride, Amy Bhai, in February 1892. Amy Bhai was from the village of Peniala in India, and the wedding took place in her hometown. Following the marriage, Jinnah continued attending the Christian Missionary Society High School until he left for London. He deported Karachi in January of 1893. Jinnah would never see his wife or his mother again. Ami Bai died a few months after Jinnah's departure. Devastatingly, Jinnah's mother Mithi Bai also passed away during his stay in London, returning after disembarking at Southampton and taking the boat train to Victoria Station. Jinnah rented a hotel room in London. He would eventually, however, settle at the home of Mr. F.E. Paistock of Kingston, who had invited Jinnah to stay as a guest. After a few months of serving his internship in Jinnah of 1893, Jinnah left the position to join Lincoln, a revenue-medical association that helped law students study for the bar. Over the next few years, Jinnah prepared for the legal exam by studying biographies and political texts. But Jinnah slagged Lincoln because of in the front of the Lincoln was writing the Prophet as Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam name. That's why they take admission there. Jinnah prepared for the legal exam by studying biographies and political texts that he borrowed from British Museum Library and read in Bristol chambers while studying for the war. Jinnah heard terrible news of his wife and mother's deaths, but he managed to follow on with his education. In addition to fulfilling his formal study, Jinnah made frequent visits to the House of Commons, where he could observe the powerful British government in action firsthand. When Jinnah passed his legal exam in May of 1896, he was the youngest ever to have been accepted to the bar. With his law degree in hand, in August 1896, Jinnah moved to Bombay and set up a law practice as a barrister in Bombay High Court. Jinnah would continue to practice as a barrister up through the mid-1940s. Jinnah's most famous success as a lawyer include the Belvoir murder trial of 1925 and Jinnah 1940 in defense of Hassan Lal at Agra, which marked the final case of Jinnah's legal career. Statement: during Jinnah's visit to the House of Commons, he had developed a growing interest in politics, deeming it a more glamorous field than law. Now in Bombay, Jinnah began his foray into politics as a liberal nationalist. When Jinnah further joined him there, he was deeply disappointed in his son's decision to change career paths and out of anger, withdrew his financial support. Fortunately, the two had mended fences by the time Jinnah further died in April 1902. Jinnah was particularly interested in politics of India and its lack of a strong representation in British Parliament. He was inspired when he saw Dadabhai Nauroji become the first Indian to earn a seat in the House of Commons. In 1904, Jinnah attended a meeting of the Indian National Congress. In 1906, he joined Congress himself. In 1912, Jinnah attended a meeting of All Indian Muslim League, prompting him to join the league. The following years, Jinnah would later join yet another political party, the Home Rule League, which was declared to the cause of state rights to self-government. Midst of the Jinnah's thriving political career, he met a 16-year-old Ratan Bai while on vacations in Darjeeling. After Rati turned 18 and converted to Islam, the two were married on 19 April 1918. Rati gave birth to Jinnah's first and only child, a daughter named Dania. in 1919. As a member of Congress, Jinnah was collaborated with Hindu leaders as their ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity while working with the Muslim League. Simultaneously, gradually, Jinnah realized that the Hindu leaders of Congress held a political agenda that was ingrained with his own, and earlier he had been allied with their oppositions to separate electorates means to guarantee a fixed percentage of legislative representation for Muslim and Hindus. But in 1926, Jinnah shifted to the opposed view and began supporting separate electorates. Still, overall, he retained the belief that the rights of a Muslim could be protected in a united India. At that stage of his political career, Jinnah left Congress and dedicated himself more fully to the Muslim League. By 1928, Jinnah's busy political career had taken a toll on his marriage. He and his second wife separated. Rati lived as a recluse at the Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay for the next year until she died on her 29th birthday. During the 1930s, Jinnah attended the Anglo-Indian Round Table Conferences in London and led the reorganizations of the All India Muslim League, independent Pakistan. By 1939, Jinnah came to believe in a Muslim homeland on the Indian subcontinent. He was convinced that this was the only way to preserve Muslim traditions, protect their political interests. His former vision of Hindu-Muslim unity no longer seems realistic on him at this time. During a 1940 meeting of the Muslim League at Lahore, Jinnah proposed the partition of India and the creation of Pakistan. In the era where Muslims constitute a majority at this juncture, Jinnah was both displeased with Mohandas Gandhi stands at the London Round Table Conferences in 1939 and frustrated with Muslim League. Much to Jinnah, judging the Muslim League was on the vigor of merging with the National League with the goal of participating in provincial elections and potentially conceding to the establishment of a united India with majority Hindu rule. To Jinnah's relief in 1942, the Muslim League adopted the Pakistan resolution to partition India into states. 4 years later, Britain sent a cabinet mission to India to outline a constitution for transfer of power to India. India was then divided 3 territories. The first was a Hindu majority, which makes up present-day India. The second was Muslim area in the northwest, to be designed as Pakistan. The third was made up of Bengalis, some with a narrow Muslim majority. After a decade, the province would have the choice of opting out on the formation of a new federation, but when Congress President expressed objections to implementing the plan, Jinnah also voted against it. The independent state of Pakistan Jinnah had envisioned came to be on 14th August 1947. The following day, Jinnah was sworn in as Pakistan first Governor General. He was also made President of Pakistan Constitute Assembly shortly before his death. That legacy on 11 September 1948, just a little over a year after he became Governor General, Jinnah died of tuberculosis near Karachi, Pakistan, the place where he was born. Today, Jinnah is credited with having altered the destiny of Muslims in the Indian subcontinent. According to Richard Simons, Muhammad Ali Jinnah contributed more than any other man to Pakistan's survival. Jinnah's dream for Pakistan was based on the principle social justice, brotherhood and equality, which he claimed to achieve under his motto of faith, unity and discipline. In the wake of his death, Jinnah's successors were tasked with consolidating the nation of Pakistan that Jinnah has so determinedly established. Facts. We strive for accuracy and fairness. If you see something that doesn't look right, correct it. The motto of the Jinnah was to establish a Muslim state for Muslims in subcontinent there where they practice their religion and could spend their life according to religion uh, with autonomy, which we still have not get. Pakistan Zindabad.